All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2021 Higgins Coatings Queensland Schools Championships Regatta. My name's Dave. I work for Rowing Queensland. So a official welcome from Rowing Queensland, and on behalf of the Rockhampton Fitzroy Rowing Club and also Rockhampton Grammar School, we'd like to welcome you up to Rockhampton for this beautiful event. I now have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Ian Holzberger. He's our CEO from Rowing Queensland, and he's going to say a few words for you.
Thanks, Dave. Before I say too much, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners, the land here, the Duramble people, and to recognise and acknowledge their leaders past, present and emerging future. Firstly, before I get into thanking all of our generous sponsors, and we do have a very long list, I think it's only appropriate that we acknowledge all of the athletes, the guys that have actually trained to come here, their clubs, their coaches, and their mums and dads who have put a lot into getting them ready for an event such as this. I remember in my history I had the same experience. It's always worthwhile, so I hope we have a wonderful regatta, and thank you for your commitment to be here. We're very fortunate this year. We've got a great palette of sponsors, and I'm going to kind of put you to sleep a bit, but it's really important that we do acknowledge those people that get behind our sport and give us an opportunity to have a wonderful event like this. So as Dave mentioned, we have a naming rights sponsor this year, which is Higgins, and they're specialists in painting and coatings, and can certainly brighten your life up if you get with them. They're matched pretty closely by the Rockhampton Regional Council, who of course own the course and put the boys in for us and give us this wonderful kind of area to work with. I'll just quickly acknowledge the others. We've got PKF Accountants, Movement Improvement. Obviously they're all about making us a little bit better in the boat. Lees and Capel Country, Godwin Commercial, Grant and Simpson Lawyers, Rees R and Sydney Jones. Yes, someone sports club that I can't read my writing, so I do apologise to them most profusely. Yeah. Lipton Stewart Orthodontics, Acumentis Certification Experts, MB Plant Hire, Central Queensland University, and Nutrien Ag Solutions. We also have to make a special mention of Rocky Grammar, who have put a lot into this event, and especially their works department, who have largely set it up for us. So we really muchly appreciate it. And the Rocky and Fitzroy Rowing Club, who've stood shoulder to shoulder with them to deliver the event. From my perspective, there's been a lot of planning going on it. I've been a pretty passive observer, sitting in there with the Joint Organising Committee, which is a committee between the Rocky Grammar and the Rockhampton Fitzroy Rowing Club and Rowing Queensland, with John Smythe, Sarah Black and Lucy Benjamin from Rowing Queensland doing all the work. So I think we should put a really big round of applause together for those guys, because they've pulled this off. No, we haven't had it yet, but it's looking pretty good to me from here. So once again, most sincere thanks for making the trek for those that have made it, and for Rocky for hosting us. And I'd like to actually now introduce Wade Mann, and Wade will introduce us to the performers that are going to take us through the welcome ceremony. Thanks, Wade.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Yes, my name's Wade Mann, and I'd like to invite you all here today. Thanks for coming. I'm on this beautiful river, the Fitzroy River. The Drumble name for the Fitzroy River is Toonabar, which means big water, and it flows all the way down from Winton, and it's the lifeblood for all the Aboriginal tribes all the way along this area. So as I said, my name's Wade Mann, and I'm a traditional owner from the land we meet today. The Drumble people have been the carers and protectors of this land for the past 50,000 years. I'd like to start off by acknowledging my elders, past and present. As we all know, our elders are the most important people in our community. They're the keepers of our stories, our history, our past, and hope to bring the young people into the future and make them better role models for tomorrow. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Bapadoo, Bapadu is our God, creator, the maker. He's the maker of the land, the people, the oceans, the seas, and the animals. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Budaroo. Budaroo's the green tree frog. He's my totem. He's part of my dreaming, part of my believing. All the Aboriginal tribes all over Australia have got totems that represents their tribes. As I said, mine is the green tree frog. So he's the bringer of the rain. Before the rain comes, you'll hear him croaking. And when the rain goes, you'll hear him celebrating. So without rain, you do not have water. Without water, you do not have life. So he's the substance of all life on earth. He's a very important part of our existence. Also, welcome the country is a very important part of our tradition. All the Aboriginal tribes for tens of thousands of years have done welcome the country. To welcome people onto their land, it's about having respect for the land and having respect for the people of that land. The Drumble area, we take in a vast part of central Queensland. We go out west to go towards the Gagango Range. We go down south to Raglan Creek. We take in most of the 27 islands and oceans out to the east. And we go up north to the Styx River, where a small town there called Ogmore, where I was brought up with my grandparents, my uncles, my aunties, my cousins, my brothers and my sisters. And we learned a lot of our traditional ways and did a lot of our traditional hunting around that area. Within the Drumble area, we got 4 major tribes. On the other side of the Gracemere area, we got the Warrable tribe, which goes out to Gagango Range, up to Marlborough and down to Raglan Creek. Where we are now, we're in the Toonoomba tribe, which takes in Gracemere, Rockhampton, Raglan Creek, Emu Park, Yeppoon, and up to the wetlands on the other side of Iwasaki. Then up along the coastline, we got Ninjambul, which goes up to Townshend Island. Then up around the Shellwater Bay area, we've got Cooranbara, which goes up to Ogmore, out to the Fitzroy River, and back to the wetlands on the other side of Iwasaki. Within those 4 major tribes, we've got 20 smaller tribes. Each one has its boundaries, which are covered by the oceans, the rivers, the creeks, and the seas. And no tribe was ever allowed to go on to anyone else's land unless they were given permission. They went on to someone else's land without permission. They would either got speared or even got put to death. Because as I said before, it's about having respect for the land and having respect for the people of that land. Up around the Shellwater Bay area, when one tribe wanted to go onto someone else's land, they'd come up to the boundary and they sit there in a semicircle. 2 or 3 women from that camp would go across to those men and light a fire. They'd go back to the camp, and then 3 or 4 men would come and join that circle. They sit there in silence, and after a while they'll start wailing and crying, then they'll start laughing and joking. Then the tribe from that area would invite them in. If they were there for a ceremony or a dance, they'd exchange gifts such as spears or boomerangs or different artefacts. Then they'd go to a buri ring, which is a circle on the ground about 3 or 4 metres in diameter, usually covered around by rocks. The tribe from that area would go into that buri ring and start dancing. After a while, they'd invite the other tribe in. The reason they do this, they say, you're welcome. You're welcome to our country. While you're in our country, you are protected. Protected by Bapadu, our God, our ancestors and our elders. And on your journey home, you'll also be protected. This is why the Aboriginal people of Australia are the longest continuous living race of people on this earth, because they've lived here for over 50,000 years unbroken, because they've always had respect for the land and had respect for the people of that land. So by me doing a welcome to country for you, all here today, why you're on our country, as long as you are protecting the country and looking after the country, you will be protected by Bapadu, our God, our ancestors and our elders. And on your journey home, you'll also be protected. So on behalf of the Drumble people, I'd like to welcome you all here today. Hope you have a fantastic regatta, and may the best rowers win. So now I'd like to introduce the Wuru dance troupe. I've got my 3 boys, and then my mate Michael playing the didge. Michael's one of the best didge players in the world, so we're lucky to have him here to perform for us today.
Well, afternoon, boys and girls. Before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional elders here, the Darumble people, this beautiful country of Rockhampton. Where I'm from, I'm further north. I'm from Cairns district. My tribe up there is the Yidinji tribe. So that's why it's always, you follow protocol to acknowledge the traditional elders here. So I've pretty much got permission from Uncle Wade Mann to come down here and play for you guys here today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Well, thank you, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed that little performance. That first dance we performed for you was a welcoming dance to welcome everyone here to Rockhampton. And that second one was pretty much like a show-off dance, just to show you the different styles of shaking their legs. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day here. Okay, I'd like to say a special welcome to St. Peter's. I used to go to that school. My house was Mitzi, all right, and I went to school there in 87, so good luck to you guys. No worries. All right, thank yous.
Thank you very much, guys. It was an absolute honour to have you here. Quick note for the people competing this afternoon in the mixed eights race. The draw has been done. So if you haven't already picked up your bow number, come and see me after we're done here. And I can let you in on the lane draw and also give you your number. Apart from that, let's have a great, safe, happy, fun 4 days of racing. The weather's supposed to be fantastic. If there is any questions or anything to do with withdrawals or crew changes and stuff, Bob Alexander, our regatta secretary, will be just in here, currently in a bright orange shirt, not noticeable at all. And apart from that, let's have a good couple of days. Thanks very much.
What's in a name? For us, it's everything. Over 70 years of paint under fingernails. Hard work in the hot sun. A promise to our local community. Our customers. From our family to yours. This is our story.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, welcome to the 2021 Higgins Coatings Queensland Schools Championship Regatta. We've got about 5 minutes till the first race of the weekend, which is going to be the mixed eights event. We do have 5 entries in this race. We've got All Hallows Gregory Terrace in lane 3, BBC and Somerville in 4, Rockhampton Grammar in 5, BBC and Somerville again in lane 6, and St Peter's Lutheran and Gregory Terrace in 7. A couple of notes for athletes. If you are using the warm-up bikes and ergs, if you could please use the spray sanitizer and chucks to wipe down after you're done, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you are looking for numbers over the weekend, so your bow numbers, they will be available from the Rowing Queensland tent situated in the boat park. So that's for the return and issuing of numbers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it looks like we've got a start in our 500-metre sprint, the first race of the weekend at the 2021 Higgins Coatings Queensland Schools Championship Regatta. Going to take this opportunity to have a massive thank you in advance to our boat race officials for the weekend. They are enabling us to have this safe regatta. So ladies and gentlemen, as Ian mentioned before, we do have some amazing sponsors all weekend long. For this race this afternoon, I would like to thank Godwin Commercial for their sponsorship. The official results have come through from the judges. First place was Lane 3, All Hallows and Gregory Terrace. Second place, the BBC Somerville crew in Lane 6. And fourth place was the BBC Somerville crew in Lane 4. So, ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude today's racing. It was just the one race. We will be starting bright and early at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you would like to have a wind-down beverage this afternoon, the Rocky Grammar School bar is open upstairs at the club house. So feel free to go along and get yourself a beverage or two. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.